Hello again. In this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about the graphic art software you would need to start your apparel decorating business. Um, the two main players in graphic arts for screen printing, vinyl cutting, embroidery, any of this is either CorelDRAW or Adobe Illustrator. Both those two programs are going to do what is called vector art, and that's what art is used for all of those industries, plus signs, plus awards, all that type of thing. Now, if you buy a cutter, some of those cutters do come with software where you can do the vinyl cutting with that software that they have, and I've heard mixed reviews as to how well it works. You may be able to, if that's all you were going to do is vinyl cutting, you may be able to get away with that. But again, I'm kind of going from the standpoint of the angle that you're going to take this, very seriously. You're going to jump in with both feet and really make a go of this. So if that's the case, I would recommend that you go with either CorelDRAW or Adobe Illustrator. In my business, we use CorelDRAW because that's what probably 10 years ago, that was kind of the standard for screen printing, which is where I started. Illustrator was kind of more for magazines and things like that, a little more a different angle. But over the years, Illustrator's become more popular, mainly because CorelDRAW for a long time did not make a version for the Mac. So if you were using a Mac, your only option was Illustrator. So anyway, it's kind of, from what I understand, since I only know CorelDRAW, but from what I understand, they're very similar as far as what they're going to do. If you already know some Illustrator or you have some Adobe programs, maybe like Photoshop, you're already using Photoshop, then I'd probably go, if I didn't know anything about either one, I would go with Illustrator. If you don't know anything about either one of them, from what I've read, some people seem to think the CorelDRAW might be a little bit easier to learn. Whether that's true or not, since I haven't done Illustrator, I don't know that, 100% fact, but that's what I have read. I learned CorelDRAW basically on YouTube, and I am not exactly Mr. Genius software person, so I kind of come from the angle. If I was able to learn to do it, if you commit to it, you will be able to learn to do it. I learned the basics on YouTube and continue to look at more YouTubes, and as you start to use it, you figure this out, you figure that out, and through YouTube and just using it, of course, after 10 years, I guess you ought to get pretty good at it. I got really pretty good at it. So, and like I said, I had no training before that other than look at YouTube videos. So if I can do it, I believe you can do it. Now, with both of them, they both want to push subscriptions. I think with Adobe, that's all that's available to you is you have to buy the subscription. So you're paying a yearly fee to use the software. The upside of that is any updates that they do, you automatically get them. You don't have to buy a new version. You're automatically going to be updated. I think the last time I looked, it was about $600. Now, it might be more than that now, but that would give you access to Illustrator and Photoshop. On CorelDRAW, the last I checked, they had both subscription and you could purchase the software. I would recommend that you purchase it if you can. Because what the upgrades do is they tweak little things and add little features, but for most of the things you're going to be doing, at least for the first several years, you're not going to need those updates. So if you purchase the CorelDRAW, then you would be able to use it probably for a long time, 5-10 years maybe, without ever having to upgrade nothing. So it's going to be much better in the long term to purchase it if you can. But regardless, those are the two softwares you're going to need. Later on, maybe, particularly with sublimation, you might be able to, or you might want to use photographs and things like that, where Photoshop, or on the Corel side, they call it Photo Paint. You would use that. I use Photo Paint some with Corel for certain projects, mainly removing backgrounds from pictures and things like that. But for most of the stuff you're going to use, you'll probably stay on the vector side most of the time. And you can import bitmaps into the vector side or the CorelDRAW or Illustrator side as long as you're not going to manipulate them in any way. So I'm going to put some links below. There's one lady, particularly once you get the basics down, her name is Latana. that I've watched several of her videos. She's really good at showing you several of the features of CorelDRAW, and you're probably going to have some basic knowledge before her videos are going to become really valuable to you. But there's just gobs and gobs on YouTube. I put a couple other links for CorelDRAW for beginners. If any of you all are Illustrator people and you have resources that you could help somebody, please put it in a comment. And so people who might want to go that route can go there. So that would be one of the two sources. Like I said in the beginning, if you really want to go into this big time or serious, if you spend $5,000, $2,000 on either a Roland or a Graphtec cutter, 24-inch, a couple thousand on a real nice heat press, either a Geonite or Stahls, and then if you bought a sublimation printer, about $400, and you purchase or subscribe to either CorelDRAW or Illustrator, another $400 or $500. For about $5,000, you have really good equipment that you're going to be able to get started in this business. And also, if something this doesn't work out, you could turn around and sell that and get a lot of your money back, probably selling the equipment used, and hopefully you will have made some money too. So that would be my recommendation on graphic arts software. Thank you.